Signposts around the French resort town of Cannes say that history will be written here this week. As G20 leaders gather for their summit, that will almost certainly be the case. But it's unlikely to be the sort of history that France had hoped to write when it took over the leadership of the G20 a year ago. The G20 summit was hijacked by the eurozone crisis before the gathering had even begun. Greece's shock decision to hold a referendum on its latest bailout deal forced Europe's leaders into action, summoning Greek Prime Minister George Papandreou to Cannes for a dressing down. No more bailout cash, they told him, until Greeks vote yes in the referendum. Papandreou agreed to bring the vote forward to early December, but he also made clear just how much was at stake.
This is not a question only of a program. This is a question of whether we want to remain in the eurozone. That's very clear.
The prospect of a disorderly default by Athens has already sent global markets into tailspin. It has also made painfully clear that in any case, the deal struck last week by European leaders in Brussels has fallen far short. Italy and even France itself are proving increasingly vulnerable to contagion. Leaders, including a normally upbeat IMF Managing Director Christine Lagarde, struggled last night to put on a brave face, insisting that nothing had changed since the euro bailout deal.
Of course there are hiccups on the road, sometimes major hiccups. But what matters is what has been agreed on the 26th of October and in the morning of the 27th of October.
But the high-stakes game of poker between Greece and the eurozone threatens a chain reaction of bank and sovereign defaults that could dwarf the collapse of Lehman Brothers and send the global economy into a sharp downward spiral. The main task now facing leaders in Cannes is to build a firewall that's big enough to stop contagion spreading throughout the eurozone. While the focus so far has been on beefing up the European bailout fund, many are saying the only option now left is for leaders in Cannes to boost the IMF's lending power. More resources are needed, and now. Where they come from will be up to leaders in Cannes to decide over the next 2 days. Taimur Ahmed, Emerging Markets, Cannes.